Shadows whisper when the lights go dim. Cold breath crawling on my skin. Voices echo from the other side. Is it real or just my mind? Things paranormal talks in the dark. Secrets buried leave a burning mark. We interview the dead, we debate the unknown. Chasing shadows where the seeds are sown. Fingers tapping on a Ouija board. Broken silence like a shattered chord. Eerie hums in the dead of night.
Yes, there we are.
That intro was crazy.
Thanks.
Who put the song together for you? That's crazy. You did that? That's nuts, bro.
Long live AI.
Oh no. Oh no, not AI.
Yes. We can't sing, so we're not going to do that.
Well, I totally understand the not being able to sing part, so I get it. I understand.
We just needed an original song because I hate the countdowns nowadays. It's all boring and nobody watches it.
Everything is really so for the intros there. What I see for the most part is that everything is just super spooky all the time. There's nothing different. There's no upbeat melody. That really reminded me of Simple Plan redoing the Scooby-Doo theme song. So if you ever watched, I think it was Scooby-Doo and I don't know, it was something like Louisiana Cajun something another, and Simple Plan redid the Scooby-Doo song, so it was like pop punk or whatever. That's kind of what it reminded me of.
Cool. All right. Welcome to another Things Paranormal Talks. Today we have Vince. Welcome.
Hello.
For one. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and what do you do?
Well, my name is Vince Kelien. I'm a urbexer and a paranormal investigator. Not so much urbexer anymore, but preservationist and all around spooky collector. So I collect. I'm sure you can see some of the collection in the back. Anything mortuary, anything related to Ouija boards, items that came from haunted locations, specifically like asylums, sanatoriums, things of that nature. As a preservation effort. So people, where someone would throw out their Ouija boards, they can send them to me. I don't necessarily think that Ouija boards work. It's just a part of our spooky culture. So it's one of those things where I've never had anything happen with a Ouija board. One time I saw a planchet move on its own, but it was just like so I was like, which window's open? But a very skeptical guy too. So I'm every single thing that I see or hear or touch or have a feeling of, I try to debunk everything. But I first got my start into the paranormal working for the Waverly Hills Sanatorium back in 2010. I've worked there on and off since then. I don't currently work there. And about 4 years ago, I kind of ventured off from that to explore haunted and abandoned locations as a preservation and restoration effort to make specifically abandoned locations, whether it was a state or it was a school or whatever the case, that owned said building, to see the video to see that they have value. Right. And they should be taking care of the building, and whatever their funds necessary, open it up for investigations or open it up for historical tours or a museum or whatever the case. And that was my goal really early on. And now it's kind of just showcasing the beauty and decay for everyone to enjoy, and hopefully those people see the value in the ruin and the decay, and want to do things like preserve and restore and things of that nature. So,
all right, cool, very cool. Yeah. Busy life.
Yeah, stays busy, brother.
Yeah, I saw the Ouija boards behind you. I love Ouija boards.
Yeah,
they are amazing. Those things.
They're like I said though, I'm not a big fan of believing that they work. but you could say that for all other things, right? Phone apps and, the Ovilus and tripwires, any REM pods, whatever, anything, so I mean, if those things could work, then maybe a Ouija board could work. But like I said,
Yeah.
I've never seen one that gave out intelligent answers or gave out any answer at all to begin with, without the benefit of someone having trigger fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's usually the case.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be real. I think your heart desires to talk to, whether you're Catholic or Christian, it says that you're not to talk to the deceased. So I think the rebellion around religion and doing things that the Almighty has told us not to do. I think that's a big part of it, is wanting to know and wanting to feel that someone is trying to talk to you behind the veil, to get a message out to you, right? And I think a lot of the times that's why we have psychics and we have mediums. And I'm not a huge guy on that either. Only because I know just about as enough. I know just about enough of the paranormal as your kids do, Shane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't know anything about it, neither do I. We know just about as little as the next person can possibly. So it always makes me question and wonder how psychic mediums can know more than the average person.
Yeah.
But I think that I think that's what Ouija boards are. They are like and I'm not religious by any means. I don't label myself to any religion whatsoever. So I think that a lot of that is just rebellion, and the need and want to sin, because you're not supposed to talk to the dead. So I think a lot of that is if they talk to me, it's not my fault.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same thing with recorders or REM pod activity or tripwires or whatever the case. Ouija boards are exactly the same as any other tool that you could use. I just never seen it work before.
No, exactly. Yeah, true. Agree.
Never seen the planchette move.
Never.
No.
Nope. It's one of those things, like I said, I think it's the need and the want for it to move. And therefore, someone within your circle, whoever has their fingers on it, muscle spasms and stuff like that, and the brain psychologically telling you that this is what should be said, or this is the letter, or this is the number, which maybe that's the way the communication is supposed to work. Maybe you are supposed to move the planchette yourself through your brain, but I don't necessarily believe that that's a thing that could happen. So
no, me neither. I think when you do a Ouija board session, you should do it with blindfolds on and headphones on, so you cannot manipulate it by any chance or meaning.
So modern day Estes, but with physicality.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
No, it isn't. You open every sense that is in your body at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a terrible idea. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, that's something I've been thinking of doing.
Yeah.
That's something. Ironically, I've had that idea. I've had ideas like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust dowsing rods, and I want a 3D artist that works with 3D printers to make holders for the dowsing rods, where you can just sit it down and then you can ask questions. If they move, it's legit.
Yeah. Exactly. Because they're not supposed to move when they're steady.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with pendulum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're moving your hands, so it's never still.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen someone's hand being still while a session like that is going on ever.
Yeah, you should just hang it up.
Yep.
And just leave it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Great.
What's your first ever paranormal experience?
I've always chalked it up to an invisible friend. I was I was 10, 11, and I was running back and forth in the house. Nobody was home. My parents weren't responsible with me. And nobody was home. I was running up and down the hallway being an idiot. And I ran from the kitchen back to the bedroom. I jumped on it, did like a little flip or whatever. When I flipped around and I turned, I saw this little girl that was sitting there with her knees up to her chest, staring at me. Now I chalked that up to an imaginary friend when I became an adult. I started working at Waverly, and my first day at Waverly, I had 3 separate paranormal occurrences that made me question whether or not it was an imaginary friend.
Yeah, understandably.
So that was my first. I think I was around 10 or 11.
Wow.
You know, when imagination still ran wild, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a normal thing for a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can understand why you would think it's an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Well, what happened at Waverly?
My first day in, I was on the first floor. I was helping put together the haunted house. It was my first day. Like I had been there before for like their annual haunt or whatever. And I was on the first floor. I was, they have a maze that takes you through the hallway. So you're not going down the hallway. You're going through rooms back and forth, down the hallway. And I was helping put up the maze and stuff like that. I ended up being the last person in the building where the owners went to go get something to eat and come back. About 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Really, really long day in the middle of August. It's hot, sweaty, shirts off. It might as well be a strip tease. It had tool belts on and everything else. And I pack up my stuff and I start going down the hallway. Not that there's anything to tease about this. I'm just saying. But we get down to I get down to the what we call the glass staircase, and I lock up the building. I go outside and I go to my car, pop the trunk, and I'm about ready to put my tool bag in there, and I hear what sounds like a dodgeball hitting concrete. If you were in high school, you know the sound.
Yep.
I look up at the building and a red dodgeball comes bouncing out of the 4th floor solarium and bounces down into the neighborhood. If you've ever looked at aerial shots of Waverly, you know there's a neighborhood at the backside of Waverly.
Yeah.
And then there's a long driveway on the side of the thing that goes in between Bobby Nichols golf course and the neighborhood. I left my tools in the parking lot, trunks wide open. I jump in the car and take off. I'm scared shitless. And I get down to the gate. I actually hit the hood of the car with the gate.
Oops.
Tear up the hood of my car with the gate. So the gate, it wasn't like a gate. It was a long pole that went across the road.
Oh yeah.
That had like a little wheel on it. So when you pulled up, you had to pull up, but stay back enough to where you could open up the gate. But I smacked the hood of my car with that metal gate. Once I got it off my hood and over, I'm running back to the car door and I look up and that red dodgeball's coming down the driveway.
Oh shit.
So I jump in the car and I'm hearing laughing at the same time. So I get in the car and I take off. I call the owner. I'm like, hey, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Please put my tools in the shop. I'll explain everything. And the next morning I came back in and they was like, well, it sounds like you've been initiated. Now, are you going to do something about it? Or are you going to be a baby and leave?
Yeah.
And so that started my kind of journey in with Waverly and the paranormal and preservation and restoration and stuff like that. And it was an off and on relationship for, 2 decades now. So it's one of those things that that's kind of stuck with me. I live literally 30 minutes away from Waverly. So it's always been my home away from home. But like I said, I don't work there now or anything, but there's I think everyone that is in this community has a home away from home, whether they've been there once or they've been there several times. And Waverly is just mine. Yeah. But It was an experience. Working there, being there every day, every other day. At one point in time, I even before the apartments turned into crack houses, I lived in the apartments down below, which also was Waverly Grounds at one time, and I had experiences there, back and forth. Even just living in the apartments down there, and there were many instances. At one point in time, the owner used to watch my kid whenever I went to work, because the apartments literally butted up to the driveway to get up the hill. And a lot of the times the owner used to watch my son William, and William had his own occurrences. Like I said, I had an occurrence when I was a kid. It wasn't a long one, but William had this friend. His name was Jamie, and he didn't get this friend until we moved into these apartments. And one day I'm in the building working. I think I was moving some pallets or something. I come down. It's the end of the day. I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you ready to go?" And I interrupted him. He was talking to somebody out on the back deck. He was just kind of kicked back in his chair, and he was watching something on my phone. This was when the iPhone first came out. So you had that fat curved back or whatever. So he's just pressed up against the pole, and he's watching something. And I said, "Hey, buddy, who are you talking to?" And he said, "Jamie." And I said, "Who's Jamie?" He said, "He's my friend." And I'm like, okay, forgetting about where we are and everything. It's just like, okay, imaginary friend, no big deal. Doesn't have a lot of friends because Dixie Highway isn't really like a playground or anything for children. So, and the only other real relationship he had whenever we lived in those apartments was the owner's granddaughter.
Yeah.
So that was his only friend for that time. So I was like, okay, imaginary friend, whatever. So go home that night, shower, shave, get him a bath and all that kind of stuff, and dinner and all that kind of stuff. And I'm in my bed, and I'm just I get a hot sweat, and I wake up, and I'm kind of looking around the room, and I see that there's a light on underneath my door. So I walk out into the hallway, and the light's coming from William's room. And so I walk in there. I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing with the lights on?" And go back to bed. And he's sitting there staring at the corner of the room. And he turned around and he said, "Well, Jamie came to play with me." And I heard kind of a thud. And it didn't sound like someone falling over. It sounded like it was, I couldn't tell the difference whether it was playful or it was malicious. And I'm not big on demon stuff or anything like that. And I can tell you with my time at Waverly, there's no demons at Waverly. I've never encountered a demon. I believe that, obviously there needs to be a higher power and a lower power for us to still roam the earth after death. So I believe it's possible, but I've never encountered in all of my years.
No, I've never heard about it either.
So I couldn't tell if it was malicious, if it was someone who was mad. I couldn't tell if maybe it was someone who was just being playful. So I was like, okay, well, William, you need to go back to bed. Jamie's gonna come and sleep in my room. So I said, "Jamie, you need to come with me." Shut the door, shut the lights off. I go back into my room and feeling like a complete moron. I'm just like, "Jamie, you need to, I don't know if you sleep. I don't know if that's a thing for you. I don't know how this works. There's no point in me trying to understand because I don't have anything to try to communicate with you. And even when I try to communicate with people, it just doesn't work. So if you are here, if this is a problem, I need you to stay in this room until it's time to go in the morning. And then when we get up, you're going to get in my truck with me and you're going to go back home. I understand that this part of the property might have been your home, but you're going to go back to where you came from, and you're not going to come back and bug my son. You can talk to William while William is up there, but you are not to come to our home." And we got nothing else. Nothing else happened after that.
Cool.
So fast forward to about 4 years ago, 5, maybe 6 years ago. I have to go up to Waverly on Easter Sunday while we're closed. I had to do something for one of the higher ups, and I take my son with me because he's been begging since because like I said, I was off and on up there, and he had been begging to go up there the entire time. And what's up, Crystal? And he'd been begging and begging and begging. And I was like, okay, this is my time to take him up there. I can run him around the building real quick, take him down to meet security, all that fun stuff. So I take him up there, and I just kind of take him the tour route. I don't take him all around the building. I just run him around around what the tour route looks like for a ghost tour. And we get up to the 4th floor, and I hear a voice in real time saying hi. A friend of mine went to Waverly, and her son had an imaginary friend for a couple weeks after that, and never happened before or since. So we get up to the 4th floor, and I'm explaining to him this experiment that we do on the 4th floor, where we look for shadow people. And you look here, you keep your eyes focused on one place, and this and that. You can see shadows from the trees, but you can also see what looks like people going back and forth. You can see people's heads pop out of the rooms and stuff like this. These hallways are long. And I hear this voice in real time say hi. And I didn't say nothing. And I look over at William, and he looked at me. He goes, "Do you think that was Jamie?" So 14, 15 years later, my son remembered.
That's amazing.
And he got a tear in his eye and everything. And I said, "I don't know. Why don't you say hi back to him?" And we sat there for about 20, 30 minutes and was just, trying to see if we could get whoever it was that said that to us. Yeah. And as investigators, we know that real-time voices is not a thing. It doesn't happen often.
No.
And if it does, it's like once in a lifetime. I don't think I've had that occurrence one other time, but that was, but like a 5-6-year-old shouldn't remember that at the age of 14, 15 years old. There's no way.
No.
So those were just some of the different occurrences, and I'm way off. I have a hard time with time. So my son's 15 now. So 5-6 years ago, he would have been 9 or 10, but you know what I'm saying? He still shouldn't have remembered. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of those things. It's, and that's done without equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's stuff that you can't. If you ever remember watching Ghost Hunters, you remember you'd hear Jason or Grant say, "Oh, well, you didn't catch it, so it's a personal experience."
Yeah.
So we're not going to add that into evidence, which is crazy to begin with.
It is.
But if you remember them talking about that, 98% of evidence that I get in my own situation is all personal experiences for the most part. I see people get evidence, and it makes me jealous. I saw a TikTok live, which I wasn't watching live at the time, but this woman's hair came up.
Wow.
It wasn't altered in any way. It was the live pulled from TikTok and showed. And I was, at first I was like, "Oh, it's the wind," because I'm jealous. I'm really fucking jealous because stuff like that doesn't happen.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they caught it on camera in front of like 100 people, 200 people, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Like, this stuff doesn't happen to people. And when it does, it doesn't happen to me.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It sucks.
So, and here's the thing is that I know the people, so I know they're not faking, and I know that they don't have a bone in their body to do something like that. So it's like, you know, it's one of those things. Why not me? Why? It's just one of those things. It drives me nuts. But I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be recording something and something crazy like that happens, and I can show it to the world and be like, "Dude, look."
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
You know what's worse? When you have the cameras on and it happens behind the camera, and you're like,
"Yeah, dude, like,
dude, seriously? It's here."
Yeah. It's like it happens when the cameras aren't rolling, or if it's where the cameras aren't pointing, and you're
Exactly.
like, "Are you kidding me, bro?"
Yeah. Or you forget to press record.
Or you forget to press the record button.
Yeah.
Yep. Happens a lot as well. Yeah.
You know, I tell people this really often. I say it a lot. I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night. And it's because my mind is so molded and so brain rotten from as soon as you turn the camera off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're packing up to leave, and they're just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Shit." But I tell people this all the time. I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night, and it gets me in trouble a lot because I don't remember. I'm bad with birthdays. I'm bad with holidays. I'm a bit of a hermit, so a lot of people think it's. I get a lot of people that think like I'm an asshole or that I'm not a nice person or whatever, and it's not. I hope that I'm not an asshole, but it's more or less of I enjoy my. Excuse me. I enjoy my private time and I enjoy my privacy, and a lot of the times my privacy is sitting at this desk and playing Dead by Daylight. Sometimes my privacy is putting together these paranormal posts. I have the greatest community when it comes to like viewership. I call them dudes, and they're more like family. But like sometimes it's doing something like this, where someone has gifted me something out of nowhere.
Oh,
wow.
Which, like, you know, just something simple like this. I just got this today. It came in the mail. One of my friends on one of my streams grabbed this off of one of my wish lists. And sometimes it's just sitting down here and admiring. And then I don't remember what I did 15 minutes prior. And I think a lot of the time, what it boils down to is me trying to not burden others with my problems.
Yeah.
And so if I'm not exploring an abandoned place, if I'm not ghost hunting, if I'm not doing anything like that, I'm at home. I'm waiting for mail, my paranormal mail. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I have a monthly snail mail. I had this down in a thing before. My name is Vince. I'm an urbex and a paranormal investigator, and I have a snail mail, a mail club, if you will, called the Paranormal Post, in which I will share with you my stories, my paranormal evidence, and a history lesson with a postcard I have created for you that is made to look like it was the building when it was active, and my favorite picture that I've taken from said location. And I do this with and I make stickers for the building, and I make stickers for myself, and I put all of this in together and send it off to you. Yeah, so that's the Paranormal Post for anyone who likes spooky mail. I have not seen anyone doing a paranormal mail club, so this is kind of cool. And also, I do international because I found out that stamps for international mail is not expensive.
oh,
But
Where can we join?
urbaninvestigator.com.
See?
I'm trying to see. I got off topic because Crystal and her sister Julia, they do this to me all the time. They make fun of me because they get in the same room and they're not twins, but they look like twins. So I'm just like, oh my God, go away. I can't tell who's who. So they always do this. Like they play Tia and Tamara from the Disney Channel. And I'm just like, can't do it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just kind of, I'm just a hermit. Like I don't go out with friends. I kind of just stick to myself. And I used to be that guy too. We are identical twins. Okay, I didn't know. I thought they just looked like so close. So they are identical twins. I don't know. Shout out to LA Spirits. If you're ever in Louisiana, make sure to look them up. And make sure to get some Cajun food because Louisiana Cajun food is the best. If you sit down at a restaurant in Louisiana in the French Quarter, and this isn't to make it racist, but a black woman walks up to you with your food and says, all right, baby, you have a good day. This meal is going to be fucking banging.
Yeah.
It is going to be the best Cajun food you've ever had in your life. If you hear the woman say baby, it's going to be the best meal you've ever had.
Yep.
Ever.
That's soul food.
It's so good. And this happened to me when I was in Louisiana a couple weeks ago, and I was like, she said the word. Yes. But it's always the witch doctors and the people that are born and bred in Louisiana in the deep South that just make the best cornbread, pasta, seafood, everything. It's just amazing. But like I said, you see, off track too. This is where I realize I have a problem. If I was an alcoholic, this is where I would say, my name is Vince. But I'm such a hermit. I don't go out anywhere with friends. I stick to myself. I stay here in my apartment. I don't go anywhere. If I do, it's to the grocery store, and I rarely do that. I usually do like, what is it called? Is it called Postmates? Or Walmart has this new thing where you can do like Walmart delivery or whatever. If you do it to where you don't care when it gets there, then it's the same as going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just kind of like, okay, well, I'm not wasting any money by doing this. But if I'm not out doing an event, a convention, or anything, I'm at home, not doing anything. I'm with my kids, or just here. And I don't know. I think it kind of grounds me. It gets lonely sometimes though. I'm so way off track. I don't even remember what you're talking about. I could talk to you all day. Like this is just me in a hole. Like I can talk to you all day. I don't know my ass from my elbow. So
it's not a problem. It's all about you. You are collecting old stuff. Just reserve it. What's your best item? Which item do you love the most?
I have a lot. I wish that my my webcam was mobile, because then I could kind of walk you around. But I have a costume. I have a coffin from Broadhead, Wisconsin, that was gifted to me by Bill Walter. If you know anything about the Broadhead Manor, the school out in Broadhead, Wisconsin, he gifted it to me whenever. I don't know why he gifted it to me, because the whole point was I was I was auctioning off a coffin of my own because it was taking up too much space. And so whenever I sold this child coffin, I got I got gifted an infant coffin, which is already sad, obviously.
Yeah.
I do have the intention of taking all the paint off and sanding it down and restaining it, making it, preservation and restoration, essentially, whenever I'm able. But I have lamps from the late 1800s from a funeral home here in Louisville, Kentucky, that came out of one of the older funeral homes. I want to say, even with all the big stuff, I have a wheelchair from Waverly. Out of all the stuff, the smallest thing that I have is probably my most prized possession, which is it's going to sound really stupid, a coffee creamer cup from Waverly. It has the logo on it from when it was an active facility.
Cool.
I have a syringe from Penhurst. I don't know why I have a syringe from Penhurst.
Because it's cool.
But it's one of the old ones. It's the metal ones that flip, and you have to take the vial out and put the vial back in, all that kind of stuff. But with permission and when granted, my biggest collection that I have out of my big collection of items is our key plates. So the old time skeleton key. So not the key, but the plates. So a lot of the abandoned places that I go to, I leave everything well enough alone. But if I find a key plate, that'll be the one thing. No one's going to miss it. It's a souvenir from said location, and I can take it home, clean it up, and put it in the case. And every once in a while, I'll be gifted from a owned and operated location. Every once in a while, they'll give me the permission to take one or replace one. Yeah, so probably the coffee creamer cup, which is the size of this ink.
Okay.
Probably the smallest thing that I own probably is my most prized possession. Not this, but the coffee creamer cup.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Ever had any hauntings because of the items?
So I can tell. So I live in a condo, and I'm butted up against two other condos, and I can tell when my neighbors are going up and down the stairs. They're old apartments, so they're not like really good insulated or anything. But I can tell when they're going up and down the stairs, and I can tell when they're not.
Yeah.
I can tell when someone is upstairs, if it's my neighbors or not, and I have more than enough occurrences that we don't interact. If there is someone here, I don't interact at all. But there's been more than a couple cases where I'm laying in bed, and I'll see or I'll hear someone out on the landing by the staircase. Almost every time that I come downstairs, I'll hear someone in my room, or I'll hear someone in my son's room, William. I don't know it to be a fact. I just know what I hear.
Yeah.
And what I was hearing is not I know it's not my neighbors, essentially.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about those houses. I live in one myself, so I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, aren't you worried because you don't interact in any way with them? But aren't you worried that it could be something evil in the end?
If it was, I would have moved.
Yeah.
If I felt threatened in any way, after bringing something home, if I thought that it was going to be a problem, I would have already moved. And that's not to say like I'm a bitch or anything. It's just one of those things like, it's one of those things like, you're not really bothering me, and it seems as if I'm not really bothering you. I probably, wherever you came from, you came from your home, so and you're sticking around, so that's on you. They're not bothering me, so there's no need. Now there's been a couple of times where I'm like, hey, I don't know if someone's here, I'm not sure. But I've been hearing a lot of things here lately, and if whoever it is can just tone it down a bit. And I still hear stuff, but like it's not like I hear the water turn on, in whatever faucet or whatever, and then go to look and it's off. So I just kind of let it be. We don't really interact, and when we do, it's just those small little chit chats here and there, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. You have so much experience, personal experiences.
Mhm.
Have you ever been scratched or smacked or whatever?
Well, I've been smacked and scratched plenty of times in different ways, but not for a paranormal standpoint.
Oh,
That's my dark sexual innuendo for the podcast. But I don't think I've ever experienced it to a point to where I was like genuinely hurt. I've been out of breath on a couple of different occasions, not in my own home, but at different places and stuff like that. I did have an instance. I was at a convention that we have in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It happens every year. It's called the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, and not the hotel we're in now, but the hotel that they were in before. I was walking down a hallway, one of the corridors, and I was by myself. I think everybody was asleep. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I don't remember why I got up. I don't remember why I think I got hungry or something. And I was walking this long hallway, and nobody was out. And I had to catch my breath, and I was only walking. And there was no reason for me to have to stop and catch my breath. It was what it was kind of situation. And I mean, that hotel is not old by any means. And I think Gettysburg itself is just haunted. The entire city was a battleground. So there's reports of the local Holiday Inn that's like 3 years old being haunted. Excuse me. So I mean, I've had occurrences like that before, but being like physically hurt, I don't think that I can say that I've ever had that.
lucky you.
Yeah, very lucky.
Not everyone is that lucky.
I don't go into locations and ask for a problem, and I think that's I think a lot of that is what's made me lucky, as you said, is that I try to go in with the best intentions and not with malice or hate in my heart or judgment from other creators or other investigators that have been, and I saw what I might consider to be crap, or whatever the case. So I don't go in with malice, and I believe that that's what's led me to lead a lucky life and not being hurt or scratched or pushed or whatever the case.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thinking about the fact that you are having experiences, personal experiences, and we were talking about ghost hunters. That's something that's kept bothering me until this day. Every time they found something, like 2 things of paranormal evidence in their book, and all the rest was personal experience, and for that it wasn't haunted, and I was like, what?
So I agree. And look, this isn't like a jab at Jason or Grant or anything like that, but because I mean, I like them just as much as anybody else does. But I think that I think that taking a personal experience and tossing it to the side as if it doesn't exist instead of going to explore it was always a mistake. Because even though it was a personal experience, you could have went to go check it out. Okay, well, we're not going to put that in our thing, but let's go check it out. Maybe we can entice somebody or someone to recreate what you saw or what you heard, or whatever else. Maybe we can catch it on camera. So I believe that during those times, with ghost hunters and there were several others too, but I don't think every show was their own, right? So I don't think that I saw any shows replicating each other. Because Ghost Adventures was unhinged at all times.
Yeah,
it was always off the wall. It was crazy, and do you like my tattoos, and just all this. It was entertainment, and you know how to separate the two. It's not to say that Zach's a bad guy or that he's not a good investigator or anything of that nature. The guy's just different.
Yeah.
You go watch Dead Files. It was more of like a serious cop show, than it was really, investigating the paranormal. And then they bring Cindy in, and it becomes more of like a metaphysical kind of situation. And then, you watch Portals to Hell, where the name doesn't really match with what they're doing. I think the name was more of a scare tactic. Kind of like what we call clickbait on the internet. The show was good. Don't get me wrong. Jack and everybody that was involved. It was a good show. But trying to find said portals to hell was like more of the idea, right? So everyone had their own standpoint. What was the other one? It was called MTV Fear, I think. Where they had Gary Busey and Heather Taddy and Katrina and a couple others. And where I feel like MTV Fear bringing on Gary Busey was a lot like Americans electing Donald Trump. The celebrity wasn't really necessarily needed. You could have done the show without Gary Busey. No offense to Gary, because he's a funny guy anyway, but but it was Jack and Katrina for Portals to Hell. But everyone had their own thing. I don't think anyone really followed anyone else's arithmetic when it came to how things were done, how things were investigated. I think I remember watching what was the show? It was Nick Groff and Katrina Wildman.
Paranormal Lockdown.
Lockdown.
Paranormal Lockdown. Where if they did have a paranormal experience that was personal, they went to go explore it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, people didn't follow everyone's arithmetic, but people did things differently, and I feel like that show itself, they did a good job with exploring all aspects instead of just being like, okay, well, we caught this on camera, so this is irrefutable evidence, versus oh, well, Steve, sorry, but that was a personal experience. We're not gonna go with that. So my interpretation, like I said, I like all those guys just as much as anybody else, but I think that they dropped the ball with ghost hunters, where they should have been going to check out those personal experiences, because those personal experiences could have led to irrefutable camera evidence.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just kind of my take on it. And I've told Jason that before. And he just kind of looked at me and was like, whatever, Vince. But people do things differently, and people do things their own way. And like I said, anything that I'm saying is not shade at anyone else, because everyone that I've met in the community for the most part is nice and kind and everything else. But just people have their own way of doing things, and I
Yeah.
think that Discovery and Travel and all those networks, they kind of had a hand in that, and like, well, this is what we'll use, this is what we won't use, and this is what we got to do, and this is what we can't do, and all this stuff, because we got to have viewers locked in.
Yeah.
But I think that's what inevitably led to the downfall of Travel and Discovery Plus. Is the fact that they sunk millions into these shows and didn't give their stars due diligence. And this is leading into something, and I'm about ready to tell you what it is. These creators, these TV celebrities, and unfortunately, just like them, I don't like the word. I don't like being called the word. If I do any of these conventions that I'm a guest at, they say celebrity, and any of these people, Travel and Discovery, consider ghost hunting shows to be reality TV. And unfortunately for people on reality TV, those people don't get residuals.
Nope.
And when it comes down to it, you're going to make your stars, the people that are making these shows happen, you're going to make them, what do you call it? You're going to make them feel unimportant.
Yep.
You're going to make them feel like they're not worthy, like they're not worth it, among a million other things. And this is where I do a little bit of, what do you call it? Shameless plugging. Is to where I tell you that there is a new platform out called Stream Beacon TV.
Yeah.
And this platform is owned by our very lovely people, Shane Pittman and Josh Purvis. And what I can tell you is that all of those people that you're upset about being canceled, whatever show it was that you loved, whatever situation it was that you just enjoyed, those people are on Stream Beacon right now or are coming. But I can't tell you who, because NDAs are, ironclad. What I can tell you is that there is a show coming out with Jack Osborne. He's back at it again, and he will be on Stream Beacon TV this year.
Nice.
If you enjoyed A&E's Ghost Hunters with Grant and his wife, Brian and Rochelle from the show has their own TV show called Adventures with Rochelle. There's so many different things. Searchers Afterlife, that's Shane Pittman and Josh Purvis. If you enjoyed Holzer Files, Shane, Dave, and Cindy are back at it again with a new show called Paranormal Mysteries. If you enjoy just outright comedy that doesn't make sense whatsoever and is just a lot of fun to watch because the guy on the show is just an outright lunatic, go check out Pair with the Normal.
I just want to say Michael Cagliano.
Yeah. And you can check out Lauren Hellickson with Between the Dimensions coming this summer, and you can be sure to check out Urban Investigator in September.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's a whole lot of other stuff too, but I can't tell you.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. Also, use code URBEX10 when you sign up. It saves you 10% off.
Nice. That's always good. That is always good. Mary's bird is going insane again, I think.
What is?
Mary's bird is going insane again.
Oh.
And fireworks.
Is that what that is?
You hear my bird whistling.
Okay.
There
I
were
thought
also firecrackers.
For some reason, I thought it was outside my door, but I could hear it just like in my ear though, and it didn't. I was like, "Where's that coming from?"
Yeah, they're setting off fireworks because there's something to do in the city.
There's
There's some
something to do in this
yeah,
city.
like a concert or something.
Oh,
So they're probably using fireworks to
gotcha,
celebrate something or so.
gotcha. We don't
Yeah.
do fireworks here. They just go in stadiums and in small venues.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. Sort of, kind of. So we have a metal festival here in Louisville, Kentucky, called Louder Than Life. And it brings in, it's the biggest metal festival in the US since like Ozfest and Sonic Temple and all that. But pretty much anyone and everyone you can possibly think of. Bad Omens, Motionless in White. They have the bigger guests every once in a while, like Stained or Shine Down or 30 Seconds to Mars. But it mainly like rotates like Breaking Benjamin and Paramore and Evanescence and stuff like that. And then they have like they do this weird thing where they rotate rappers. Why not just bring a bunch of rappers also? It doesn't make sense.
No.
Because I remember one year they had Tech Nine, which is dope. I love Tech Nine. The next year they had Machine Gun Kelly, which is cool. And then the year after that, they had somebody else. And I'm just like, why don't you just bring a bunch of them and stop segregating rap and rock?
Yeah, exactly.
Just put them together. It's fine. It's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal.
No, exactly.
And Machine Gun Kelly is like everything now, right? Like he's like country, rock, rap, everything.
Yeah,
So
he does
like
everything.
whatever. But yeah, we have that event, and then of course we have the Kentucky Derby and Thunder over Louisville and stuff like that. But Thunder over Louisville is the big one with the fireworks. So like everyone, like millions of people gather for this. They come from out of state and everything, and they sit out on the waterfront, and they basically blow up all the bridges with fireworks every year. But I think that's between that and 4th of July. I think that's really the only like fireworks we get, I think.
Yeah.
Now if you go out into the country, like, yeehaw, then there's probably people out there playing with like firecrackers and stuff. But
Yeah, same here.
yeah.
You're like,
Or if certain people get married.
Oh,
Yeah.
fireworks for when people get married. That's a new one.
Yeah.
it's Turkish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Turkish,
know
when
that.
they get married, they party all, what is it, 4 days, if I'm correct?
Oh my God.
4 days long. If
Yeah,
I'm
they
correct,
married
could be a week.
twice.
Yeah.
Once in
Are they compensating for something? What's going on here?
I have no
idea.
It's like my fireworks are bigger than yours.
It would be funny.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
And
That's
it's
funny.
always in the weekend.
Yeah.
The firecracker
Never during the week.
Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday finally quiet.
So I know it's kind of our holiday, but do y'all do like 4th of July and stuff too, or no?
Nope.
No,
No, okay.
4th of July, no.
Do you have a holiday like that though? So you got out like hot dogs and beers and stuff, and fireworks and all. You have a holiday like that at all?
let me think.
Yeah, we do. We have King's Day.
Yeah,
King's Day, something like that. Not that I do
Yeah,
celebrate
and,
because it's national, but
May 5th.
May
So
5th.
the Liberation.
Liberation Day, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what is it? So I'm curious because I get real excited about this stuff when I talk to people from overseas. What is your equivalent of, like, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. What's your equivalent of Americans like hot dogs and burgers and stuff like that? Like what is the go-to for like parties and cookouts and stuff like that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well,
Like do you do what we do? Is it burgers and fries and hot dogs and potato salad
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or yeah?
Something
Okay.
like that, yeah.
and barbecue.
Oh, y'all do barbecue? That's wild.
Yeah,
we do.
beer and a barbie.
Okay. So you like brisket and ribs and all that fun stuff? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Take a lot of American things to the Netherlands.
Right.
We like it better.
Right. Ours is all processed. Is it the same as us though? Like our stuff is all like heavily processed. Like a hot dog is basically the ass end of a pig. Is it all the same? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I go out and buy my meat at a slaughterhouse.
Oh, so you get everything like fresh. So there's
Yep.
like,
Yeah,
so y'all don't do like ballpark franks or anything like that. Okay.
Nope.
no,
Excuse me.
it's
Yep,
rarely that I buy in a grocery or whatever. Most of the
understand.
time, fresh.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, the Netherlands gets really good shows. So I'm curious as to what the favorite concerts you guys have been to.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my God, that's my topic.
Because you guys get like massive festivals where I say
Yeah,
like Louder Than Life is the biggest one in the US. You guys get twice as big as that.
yeah. We have big festivals and great concerts
Yeah.
like Nightwish, and
Nightwish. That's crazy. You say that.
yeah, we don't pay much to go to Nightwish
Yeah.
because they are famous all over the world
Right.
except in the Netherlands.
Oh wow.
yep.
Yeah, so we
No, yeah, we've had Nightwish more than a couple times here
yeah,
in Louisville. The concert promoter that I work for, we've had them more than a couple times.
yeah.
They draw a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And now here they're getting more famous, and you
Mhm.
have Epica,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, it's the same. And we have a Dutch rock band, and
Okay.
they had a big stadium,
Hmm.
sold out 5 days in a row. And
Wow.
now they're coming back, and they have
Who's the band?
direct.
Haven't heard of them.
You have to check it out. It's great. Yeah, we have a Dutch band, Golden Earring. They stopped this year. And
Golden Earring. That's a new one.
yes,
You know, I
and
say I say that that's crazy, but American bands over here have bands called Dying Fetus and Coat Hanger Abortion. So like, you know, it's you can't get any more crazier than that.
No.
But Golden Earring might be a new one for me.
yeah, but they were famous in America
Oh, okay.
years back. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, probably.
yeah.
He said
Yeah.
probably. He's not trying to hurt Mary's feelings over here.
No. She's 1.5 hours away from me, so she can't hit me now.
He was like,
And
just
now,
keep it, just keep her over
now,
there.
yeah, now he's saying that this afternoon I was over there.
He waited for you to go home.
Yep.
Yeah,
She can handle it.
yeah,
She can handle it.
easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a question. I lost it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I talk so much and
No.
I do that to people.
It's my foggy brain as well. So no
Yeah,
problem.
check under the desk. Maybe it's over there.
Right.
No, there's a lot of mess. I need to vacuum though. See, get distracted again.
Yeah, you're also a tattoo taker. Do you have that many tattoos?
Oh yeah, I more than what I know what to do with. All here and on my thighs, and yeah, I'm just kind of a walking tattoo at this point. I don't even know where they start and where they begin. It's been a while since I've been in the shop though. I need to get back. It's been quite a while. Do you use the Ouija boards you collect? No, because I don't believe Crystal, you've been here the whole time. I don't think they work. And I've tried, like I have. There's a Ouija board back there that has candle wax on it that someone had sent me that was saying was cursed. Maybe that's the person that's walking around. I don't know. But I just don't believe they work.
How did you get people to send over Ouija boards?
Sometimes they just kind of come. They just kind of out of nowhere sometimes. I've got one on the way right now. I had posted about one that I had bought on eBay accidentally. And somebody jumped onto that post and was like, "Hey, I've got one I would like to send you." And sometimes things like that happen. I get people that send me stuff every once in a while that they don't want, or that they feel like they need um or that they feel like they need some kind of closure with an item or board, or a doll, or whatever the case. And it just kind of happens that way sometimes, because a lot of my family, I got to stop calling them viewers, because my friends on Twitch, they get mad and they're like, oh well, we're just viewers to you, and they do it just to get under my skin. But my family,
Hi, Julia.
what's up, Julia? A lot of my family, they get they will send me stuff every once in a while, and it's something they need to part with, or something that has caused them a problem, or whatever. Like I said, I've got one that's on the way right now that person believes has caused them an issue. And I'll probably do a video on it, or a photo or something, just to kind of put it out there. Like, I've got this for a little while. I'm gonna do some testing. I'm gonna see what happens with it, and see if anything ramps up in the house or whatever the case. But I don't know, just kind of go from there. So every once in a while it just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have the same thing. They sent me also stuff. I got a ring, and this lady got possessed,
Mhm.
and she didn't want it in her house, and it was sent over here, and I put it in a crystal ball with a crystal ball on it.
Okay.
It cracked
Oh.
without touching it. It cracked.
Hmm.
It's still
What is the item? You said it's a ring?
a ring, a golden ring.
Do you know what the metal is underneath the gold, or is it solid?
I have a feeling there are ashes in it.
I'm curious. I use Google like a questionnaire. So
Yeah, me too.
Same.
So not to debunk you or the person that
No.
sent you the ring, but it says that yes. So like I said, I use it as a questionnaire, and
Yeah.
I actually type questions into Google. It says, can gold make crystal crack? And it says yes, gold specifically in the context of jewelry making can cause metal which has a crystal structure to crack. This happens during casting or working if the alloy is contaminated with impurities, experiencing hot tearing or incorrect temperature or cooling methods like water quenching are used. So I didn't read the whole thing before I said it. So your situation has nothing to do with why crystal would crack. So it doesn't really make sense as to why the crystal would crack.
No, it's a big crystal ball.
Right.
Crystal, and yeah, the bowl is also pure crystal, and it shouldn't have cracked. I had it for
You didn't like throw it in it, did you?
Yeah, of course.
You're just like, you just like threw it and you was like, oh my God, it cracked.
Yeah. It's cracked major.
It was like, man, dude, that's like, and crystal's expensive and you just ruined it.
Yeah. And I have a bigger bowl, so I'm glad I didn't.
Well, keep the ring out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes I get dolls because people think dolls are scary. And
right.
I even have some clowns. And yeah, I love
you know, it. I don't really understand people's like weird view on clowns. I never really have. And also making clowns to be like a horror based thing. Like there's you talk about Pennywise, or the clown from Hell House, or killer clowns from outer space, or whatever movie you're watching, or whatever. And all clowns are made to be like these awful people and these awful characters. And it turns out Pennywise wasn't a clown at all. He was a spider, and you're like, okay. But like, excuse me. But like the whole, I've never really understood like the scare basis for clowns, but I can kind of understand dolls, the whole thing about a doll's head moving without you touching it, or,
Yeah.
whatever the case. But I can't tell you, I've been around a lot of haunted dolls, Annabelle specifically. I'm hoping to be a part of something next year that's going to place me in the general vicinity of Robert the Doll.
Hmm.
So I hope to get some experiences from that, but nothing with Annabelle, like, at all whatsoever. I'm also not a big doll believer. I mean, if you go back and you read any passage from Ed Warren's book, he talks that the doll itself is not haunted. It's the doll's a conduit. It's made to give the impression of possession. And that's, not the direct quote, but that's basically what he's saying. That the doll itself is not haunted. The doll is not possessed. It's an inhuman spirit that's made, that utilizes the doll for fear, to make the doll seem as if it's, that the doll is doing these things. For instance, Annabelle went on this Eris tour, over, the last 2 years. She went to Louisiana, and, in that time, a plantation burned down in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, 12 inmates escaped out of a max security prison. To me, it's just all mere coincidence. But it is interesting to think that those things would just happen when Annabelle just happens to be in Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand like the doll panic, and thinking that the dolls are the ones that are doing the problems. I had a friend that went to the Conjuring house, and before all the Conjuring drama started, and something about believing that whoever or whatever was there had something to do with Annabelle, but Annabelle's not even there. But there's so much panic around haunted items and haunted dolls and things of that nature that Annabelle had them believing that, she was the one who caused their tire to pop on the way out of the driveway. But in all reality, is probably a screw.
Yeah.
Or a piece of glass, or, a nail, anything else. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of one of those things. I like to, so I was doing this thing at Scarefest last year where they asked Shane Pittman to do like the investigation with Annabelle, and they was like, Vince, do you want to do it too? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so we get down there, whatever. We meet Ryan Buell and Nesper and all these people, and at one point in time, like, some things were happening here and there, but I was just like, I kind of threw my hands down, and I was like, I want to talk to Annabelle. Where's Annabelle at? The doll's right there. I want to talk to the doll. And he makes fun of me because I'm like, oh yeah, whatever.
Mhm.
That's what I came for. I didn't come to talk to a mirror. If I wanted to talk to a mirror, I'd stay home and go in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the doll, and didn't get anything out of Annabelle. But I also know that, sometimes it's not just one time it takes to get activity from something or someone or a place or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes that I've been told by a couple different people. I've been doing this for 65 years, and I've been to this one place 45 times, never got anything until this day.
Yeah.
So I could just be the guy who's just being a skeptical asshole and being like, you didn't catch nothing because I didn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just dolls are weird. I don't know.
They are.
I think the idea of I think that all dolls and all items hold that option. Maybe hold that option of being maybe hold that option of being a conduit. I don't believe that items or dolls can be possessed at all whatsoever. Could they be used as a conduit? Sure. But to a demonic standpoint, I'm just kind of like, give me a break. I've never come across it. I've never seen it. That's not to say I won't ever. But I've never, ever felt threatened. Ever. So I don't know. I'm just kind of, it is what it is kind of situation, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understand.
I always say, if there really is a devil, why should he bother with haunting our simple humans?
Yeah, I've never understood that either. If you're demonic, if you're a devil or whatever the case, why are you doing little things? Why are you even bothering? Aren't you supposed to be making chaos in the world? Why are you bothering sitting at a haunted school or a haunted house or a haunted hospital? Like what are we doing here? Like you're supposed to be causing chaos, right? You're supposed to be making sure that the world is evil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're too big. Maybe they're too busy pulling the strings of politicians and P. Diddy.
For sure.
Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we don't see anything demonic, is because they're in the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. And on that island.
Well, they talk about the White House being really haunted. I don't know if y'all have ever heard that before.
Yeah.
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 I think it was Bill Clinton said that he thought he saw Abraham Lincoln walking around the Oval Office.
Yeah. That was Bill.
There's other different. I can't remember who else it was. I think there was I want to say it was Andrew Jackson had said that he had saw someone that it was somebody that was on his staff had died a year prior, and saw them walking around the mess hall, I guess. It's been a while since I've read up on the stuff in the White House because I've been trying to keep my feed paranormal and not political. So, but it's been a while since I've read up on some of that stuff. But I've read stories about the White House and people seeing apparitions and seeing things move and all this other kind of stuff. But with all the lies that come out of the White House, what can you really believe?
Exactly. Yeah.
You have a point.
Yeah, I mean, you're just talking about how the prime minister wants to take all the fun foods out of your country. We've been dealing with that for the last 2 years now. With RFK Jr., which statistically, food overseas is a lot better for you than they are in the U.S. I mean, the U.S. leads the country in obesity. Which is awful. Like, people will scarf down a bag of Doritos and not blink an eye. And then yell at their stomach and be like, why? I do that. Like, Oreos are a problem.
Yeah, over here they want to turn everyone in vegetarians.
Right,
So
yeah. Which, like,
yeah.
I get to an extent, but you have to have meat in your diet. I understand that there are vegans and there's vegetarians and everything else, but they're not getting the proper nutrients that they need either.
No, they don't look healthy at all.
Nope.
Oh, I know some people that do well and look healthy and stuff like that, but there are some people. I don't know if you've seen Ariana Grande recently, but
Yeah.
She looks rough.
Yeah.
Even what's his face, Pete Davidson. Now he's looking the same. But I think a lot of that's like that Ozempic shit.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Those influencers,
Yeah.
they take it too far. Too far.
They're trying to make America skinny again.
Too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Let's start dishing. Um, sorry, McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut,
Pizza Hut. Yeah.
KFC, all the junk food out,
Yeah.
and eat proper meat and proper food.
Yep. I think my problem, my belly is because I've got a little bit of a pooch, but my problem is pasta. But Italian runs through my veins, so it is what it is.
Well, pasta's good.
Yeah,
I
It's
like
good food.
Yeah, I like
I'm not a huge so I say Italian, but I'm not really big on traditional Italian food because Italians do not use spice. They use
No.
pepper and salt like Americans do.
And olive oil.
And I have to, so anything that is pasta, I have to have a Cajun, or I have to have like I have to have some like cayenne or some, I have to have something. If I wanted a bland dinner, I would go to, my family's Thanksgiving. No offense to my family, but like they don't season shit.
Yeah. If you want to eat spicy Indonesian,
Oh yeah, that'll set your mouth on fire.
Mhm.
Yep.
even the fruit.
Mhm. Yep. And it's funny, as much as I tell people that I like spices and I like seasoning, and people are like, "You don't like Indian food?" No, I hate Indian food. Can't stand it. I can't stand the smell of curry. I also live in an apartment complex, and most apartment complexes in America have a lot of diversity, and the main part of that diversity is people from India.
Yep.
Because they come to America looking for a better business suit and a better life, and they're just so good at like making a profit and turning a business into like this big thing. I don't know if you realize, but like 90% of subway chains that are not subway chains and Econo Lodge is owned by the Patel family.
Mm.
Like 90% of them in America. Yeah. And and it's not just Econo Lodge. There's a couple other hotel chains too. But the Patel family really knows how to do business.
Yeah, they do.
It's wild.
Even here in the Netherlands, I've heard about the Patel family.
Yeah, I heard the name as well.
Those guys are big.
If you go look up, I don't remember what his name is, but if you just look up like Indian comedian, this guy will pop up and he'll tell you all about it. It's insane.
I think I know who it is. I can't remember his name though.
He's really funny. He posts his stuff all over TikTok too. He's really funny.
I think I follow him. I follow a lot of comedians, so
Right.
Yeah.
he's probably in there.
Yeah, I'm sure. The comedy from the United States is actually insane. We have like Matt Rife and Bill Burr and Dane Cook, Trevor Wallace. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I feel like we hold so much comedy from all the bad stuff that happens in America, or all the bad stuff that America does to other countries, that we need like an escapism.
Yeah.
And that's why comedy runs so rampant in this country.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You have to have something funny in your life.
Yeah. You have, like the stand-up comedians in America.
Yeah.
They are absolutely the best. Yeah. Over here they are trying it, but no Full House. I think the biggest audience was 150 people.
150. That's not bad though. I mean, that's about what the improv does, for big guys.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing like a stadium tour, like Matt Rife, like he's our big guy right now.
Yeah,
And he's also in the paranormal, which is wild.
yeah.
I mean, he packs out stadiums like Dane Cook used to do back in the day. But if they go to if they go to improv for like a one nighter or whatever, they have about 100, 150 or something like that. So
Okay.
it's not a bad night.
Yeah, the most amazing comedian for me in America at this moment is Fluffy.
Gabriel Iglesias, yeah, he's
Mhm.
funny.
That man is amazing.
That dude kills me.
Yeah, every time, every joke,
Yeah,
it's perfect.
yeah.
I'm even watching his series right now, Mystery
his
Iglesias.
his representation of white rednecks versus Mexican rednecks kill me, dude. It's so crazy.
He can do the voices as well.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
The fact that he can do a women's voice
Yeah,
makes me crack up every single time.
yeah. He's a wild dude.
Yeah, definitely is. All right, we are nearing
Yeah.
the end of our show.
Oh, that went fast.
Well, hell.
Well, yeah, it went very fast.
Well, it doesn't have to end here. If you guys ever want me back on, I'm more than happy to come back on.
Oh,
That will be amazing.
absolutely.
Definitely.
You
Yeah.
have a deal.
Remind me to vacuum my floor so I don't
Vacuum
get
your, hey Shane, vacuum your floor.
not now.
I'm gonna text you when you're dead ass asleep,
That's fine.
and just be like, dude, you need to vacuum your floor.
I'm so going to wait for that one.
No excuses, bro.
Ah,
I'll do it
Right now.
tomorrow. I'll do
It's
it tomorrow.
it's 4 a.m. your time. You need to do it right now.
I don't think my wife's going to appreciate that one.
Wife, you need to wake up too. Time to wake up.
If you send a message, I'm going to let it read her. She's going to laugh her ass off.
Wifey, wake up.
Shane needs to vacuum the floor.
Tell him to get up and vacuum the floor. What's wrong with you?
I'm so going to do this. I swear. I am so going to do it. He told me to.
Yeah.
All right, Vince. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. Crystal and Julia, thank you so much for coming in, saying hi.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Hi, Casey. Hi.
Hey, Casey. Yeah, I just saw Casey.
Yeah.
I have one eye I can read with. The other one doesn't work. So, no, don't see shit. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us, guys. As always, I'm going to put everybody in the background, and I will end with a little bit of music, and then we end the live stream, and we will be back next week.
Yeah. with
I have
surprise.
no idea.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Shall I?
yeah, just reveal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve DiSchavi.
Oh yeah,
Ah, that's fun.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, we just talked about Dead Files. That's
Yeah,
wild.
exactly. He started talking about it. I was like, when do we have him again? I can't remember. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Stack, fake the unseen crowd. Fingers tapping on the veil too loud. Voices from the cracks in the floor. Shadows bending where light won't go. Chasing truth in a haunted show. Are they real or something more? Psychic dreams or a skeptic's grin. Ghosts of questions circling within. Answers vanish before they land. Investigators with their tools in hand, talking to the dark like it understands. Spirits rising from the sand.